Ian, what a result.
Oh, superb, weren't they? They really were. I mean, it weren't pretty. The pitch don't allow it, but to a man, they stood up and we went toe to toe with them, and that's all we can ask. We wanted to come in and go toe to toe with them and get in their faces and try and make it ugly, and we did that.
It was going to be a very tight game, wasn't it? You know, they've only conceded 8 on the road before coming into this game, so you knew what it was going to be like.
Oh, they're a good side. Blimey, are they a good side? They're well drilled, got a good manager and coaching staff, so the task was always going to be a hard one, but to a man, our boys were magnificent.
It did look as though it was going to be a mistake that was needed for the win either way.
Yeah, we said at half time it was going to be. It's a scrappy affair with both teams just hammer and tong at it, and we didn't want to be the one to make a mistake. It was always going to come from a corner or a free kick and things like that, and the mistake was going to tell you. But I think Simon cut inside and had a good low shot. And on this pitch, anything bounces, you don't know where it's going to go, and come off of him, and then the man was there again.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Adam in a while, but let's talk about the debutant Simon, who's man of the match. But he caused them issues. We knew he was quick. He certainly was, but he had a few tricks up his sleeve as well.
Yeah, he was excellent. So for a debut, you couldn't have asked for anything better. And we just got to take care of him while he's here. We're so grateful that Norwich have loaned him to us to the end of the season. And it's about trying to get him into a structure and a team where he can be a weapon for us. And I thought he was excellent today. He asked questions of the back five, was always positive when he did get it, and that's all we can ask for.
Apparently you made him on Thursday that he was starting, so that you were sure of that.
Yeah, we tinkered with the system. We went matching, but we went lopsided 5, so that gave him a little bit of freedom to come back. So we don't want him defending in left back position. We need him with a little bit of space so we can get on the half turn and create problems the other end.
Then, as you say, he had the shot which forced the spill, and there was Adam Marriott once again.
Yeah, sniffing around. He was quiet today, Maz, but that's what he's all about. He's anything around there that comes off. He's a goal scorer, isn't he? And I thought Gashi was, oh my God, I thought he was outstanding today in both boxes. And that's where we struggled up there. In both boxes we weren't good enough today. I thought we were very good in both boxes. We were dominant in both.
I think Gash should have an S on his shirt underneath rather than a G, because at that time, particularly when they broke and looked very dangerous, he was the last man clearing out.
He was in the left back position, wasn't he? And unbelievable. I mean, for a part-time team as we are, I mean, the fitness levels are very, very good. But they leave everything out there. They really do. And in every game we have, they don't save nothing. You know, they come off, and I said before, I'd carry every one of them off. You know, they leave everything out there. They really do. Just
a point between the sides coming into the game. Do you think York were affected by the fact that they were under pressure to do something today?
No, not really. I've 70 more games to go. There's 50 odd points to play for, so there's going to be twists and turns all the way through. And all we wanted to do today is turn up and really give them a game. And I think that they were in the game today.
It's getting a bit real now, though, isn't it? 4 points clear, 2 games in hand as well.
Yeah, but like I said, it's too long to go. It's still 17 to go. We've got some really massive games, and people are just finding form. So they're not out of it. I think whoever finishes ahead of them will be promoted. I really do, because they're a good side. They really are. They're well drilled, and they've got good men and good experience throughout their side.
And the game obviously had the big billing throughout the week, had a big build-up, and the crowd responded.
Oh my God, the crowd! It's a proper game, wasn't it? It's a proper game. You turn up and there's a crowd here, and what a crowd it was. And all I can do is thank them for turning up, because they just lifted the boys all the way through, and they was behind us towards the end here that saw out the result, and no, thank you for coming.
I mean, the players helped themselves, but you think that extra support helped today to get you over the line?
Yeah, because it just breeds enthusiasm. You know, I've always said this has got potential, this football club, and I think we saw that today with the crowd. I know they brought great away support. But for the town to turn out and support the club like they have today is superb, and I'd just like to thank them.
just going back to Michael Gash, a year ago, I mean, you've gone up, he's of a certain age, a certain maturity. Were there ever any question marks about keeping him, thinking, we're bringing in a younger model or something? Because, well, were there?
No, there wasn't. I mean, when he first joined, he was just coming off of his rehab for his knee. So that first year was all about him getting games and game time. But he enjoyed it so much here. He really did. So when the question was asked, would you like to sign again for another year? There was no doubt in him. He enjoys it. He's a big part of that dressing room. And he's a leader. He's so much of a... Well, we've got loads of leaders in there, but he's one of the leaders in there. And I thought his performance today was magnificent.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely magnificent.
The thing with him is we couldn't understand how he was in the penalty area when a second earlier he'd been at the other end of the pitch. I mean, he's not the quickest, but...
My God,
I don't know.
Well, that just shows what a team player is and how focused this group is to trying to achieve something that is really unbelievable, really. And he's a massive part of that. And he leads by example at times. And for a sprint that he done to end up in our box, from one box to the other, was extraordinary.
We need to watch the video back because I don't know where it was. The other thing was, not trying to point out any faults with you, because they're obviously a really good side. Did you think when they probably started arguing amongst themselves that was it, you got them?
Well, that shows how passionate they are for it, and the need to get a result today. I mean, we sat there and this means something to them now, but that's the importance of the results. They had to come here. I think the manager had come out and said that this is a big game for them. But at the end of the day, it's 3 points. I mean, there's so many points to play for. It really is. So we're not getting carried away. It's 3 points on the board. Beating one of the big sides in the league. And like I say, if we can end up above them, I think we'll be in a promotion place.
I know you lost a player through injury, but for once you seem to have a little bit of a surplus because Foxy was on the bench and Tom Ward wasn't in the squad. No. He was in the squad, was he? No. So this is a rarity, isn't it? Having a player that you could actually leave out of the squad.
I know, unbelievable. We've left out Harry Lim and Natty Stewart as well, so there's 3.
Yeah.
It's very rare. I mean, last week we had 3 on the bench, so this week it's amazing what big games do. Don't
know what you're suggesting there.
You get over knocks very, very quickly, but no, it's. I've always said it's a squad thing. It really is. We're going to need everyone, and people coming off the bench will be massive to us. And as Alfie come in today after losing Richo,
well,
excellent,
didn't he?
excellent,
really well.
excellent. So, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take everyone from now to the end.
You've obviously not got Michael. What about Ryan Fry? His reappearance hasn't happened, does it?
No, Ryan just had an op 2 days ago.
Okay.
So I would imagine hopefully it went well. He's got to go back in 2 weeks, and then he starts his rehab.
Okay.
So he's a little way about. Obviously, Michael will miss him. Richo is going and having a scan. We're a little bit wary about him, and then obviously Ross Barrows that landed on his shoulder. So there's 2 from today's game that we just got to make sure they're right.
Nice touch, Michael Clune, and everybody giving him a hug as they walked off. Awesome team spirit, I guess.
Well, that's it. I mean, everyone's together. I mean, he's jumping around on 1 foot.
So he's out for the next season as well. Cheers.
So that's it. But everyone's together. Yeah. The team spirit in that dressing room is through the roof. It really is.
Just one from me. I mean, you've touched on how far there is to go, 17 games, but you look at it now. Are you doing something similar to what Leicester City did? Do you think in the Premier League a few years ago?
Well,
do you look at that and compare yourselves to them?
What I look at is anything's possible. I mean, that was just totally one off from Leicester on the day. They caught everyone by surprise. They had a way of playing, and it worked for them. And they caught everyone on the hop. And I think we're doing the same. You know what I mean? It's one of those that today the result will say, "Whoa, hold on a minute, they're not going anywhere." These, so we're in it for the long haul. Wherever we finish up, it's been a magnificent season. It really has. I couldn't have asked any more. So, but while you're in the position, you've got to go for it. You really have got to go to it. And I thank Steve, the chairman, Stephen Cleve, because he's looking to improve the squad as well, which is massive to us.
Thank you very much.